Hey, so I'm working on our crawling wall for our website, and I used plaster paper as the base. Well, there's a whole bunch of paper stuffed in here, but I put the plaster paper right over the paper, and it rippled down. Now, this was the first time I had ever used it. Is it better? Yeah. Anyway, so it was the first time I used the plaster paper, and two things that I learned: don't be in a rush, and let the paper soak in the water as long as you can. Once you start to feel that the plaster wants to separate from the paper, then it's time to put it on there. Because ideally, when you put this stuff on, you're supposed to uh, rub it back in and form it into the other sheets that you put it down. And I'll bring the camera in close so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Like right there, see? There's the edge. You can see all the edge of the strips. And it looks like window screen. Well, I was in so much of a hurry, I just didn't smoothen all that out. In places I did, but I got lazy. So what I'm having to do is add a coat of plaster of Paris. This stuff, if you've never used it before, and one thing that I learned today, because I ironically looked up on another YouTube channel for how to use it, which I should have wrote it down to give him credit for. So two things: cold water, cold water. I've got a bottle of water that I keep in my freezer, and then if you're going to sculpt it like I am here, small amounts, very small amounts. Put the water in your cup first, or whatever you're mixing it into. I'm using just a little cup. Put the water in first, then add your plaster of Paris, and don't stir it. Don't stir it until you're ready to start putting it on. And the best way to tell that it's ready is that as you add the plaster of Paris, and add it slowly, as you add that in there, the water will absorb the plaster of Paris. But once you start to stir it, you activate the hardening agent, and it'll harden really quick on you. So just a little bit of water, a little bit of plaster of Paris, if you're having to do what I'm doing here, which is I'm going back over and filling all this in and trying to get rid of all these seams and this plaster mess. See, there's a piece, just rip that stuff right off there, you know. But so yeah, there's a lot of work. I have found that once you get a little bit on there, like for this top section here, come here, I'll show you. All right, so whoa, flip the screen on so you see where I'm recording. This top section, I put it on pretty thick, and I just kind of used a popsicle stick to, like a putty knife, to put it into all the little cranks, all the little holes and stuff. Once you get it on there, you can wet your fingers and go back through and smoothen it out a little bit more to, you know, however you want it. I'm trying even it to look like rock, so, you know, the little, that's what they want to see. Okay, right there you can see, like, that's been chipped away over time, and it actually looks like stone. So anyways, so I'm going to put this back over here. There we go. And I'm going to get to work. And then I'll just have Jillian zip through all this for us later. And we might add some pictures along the way of the big build, the whole, I don't want to move it. I have to spin it for you to see. But there's a whole big framework and all kinds of cool stuff. But, all right, I'm going to get started, and we're just going to let the camera roll. Cold water. Cold water. And here, I'll show you real quick how much water, if I can get it to do it there. Oh, they're not doing any endorsements, so let's turn that away from. Okay, here we go. So I just put about that much in the bottom of a cup. That actually might be a little too much. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. About that much in the bottom of a cup. And then I'll add the plaster of Paris into the water and not stir it until I'm ready to apply. And add a little plaster of Paris, let it dissolve into the water. pull the big light off, and then we'll see what the open sign looks like on it, the neon. Here we go. Oh, now that looks pretty cool. That gives you guys a lot better of an idea. You can see the contrast in the wall with the shadows. Here, let me kind of move my stuff here. I'll turn it to the side. Things to move here. Bear with me, bear with me. Give you a little tour. We'll get up close and look at it. How about that? All right, here we go. Yeah, in fact, here, hold on. Let me take the camera off the mount here. Okay, there we go. All right. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see so much better that final product. You get an idea of all the bump outs. And now this isn't included paint yet, but man, that looks really good. I was worried it would come out bad, and to be honest, I was pretty frustrated. But I almost thought about ripping it all apart and starting over, but I'm glad I didn't. So, okay. Well, hey, that's it. Turn this around this way. Can you see me? There we go. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. The rock wall's, well, not rock wall, but the climbing hill's almost done. Just need paint. So, thanks. Rusty's Backyard. Stay charged.